morning, everyone, and welcome to American Scouser's Morning Coffee or Tea with American Scouser on a Friday where we are more reckless than normal. So reckless. You know who's reckless is Kazi's work, where the system is down because they were reckless and did not update it, so he can't join us. But Anand is in the house. What's happening?
Feeling as reckless as ever. And
Really?
excited to be here. I missed last week. I watched, but I missed to be here. So I saved recklessness enough for 2 weeks. Let's do this.
All right. Well, let's start with this then. This should be good. Yeah, yes, the audience is shocked that you have managed to struggle out of bed.
Which literally I rolled out of bed and I came downstairs. But Sturzy owes me an apology, and we're gonna get to that at some point today. And he said,
what was that? I forgot. Yes. What was the apology for?
Because he fully acknowledged that he was wrong about Szoboszlai and how important he is for the club. So I said, okay, then you owe me an apology for making fun of me since last season over Szoboszlai. He said something along the lines, I would, but you won't show up. That's the only reason I showed up. As soon as he types his apology, I'm closing and I'm going to go update my system. So we're okay.
Bad. Yeah. If I play that game, there'll be episodes full of apologies over this. So we don't. We don't.
On behalf of Darwin Nunez, I apologize to everybody.
Okay. So things got interesting. I mean, obviously, you look at this draw. I would have liked it better if Arsenal was going to Palace as an away game. But it's kind of like probably the best we could have had, right? I mean, aside from being at home.
Yeah, I don't think it could get better than that. You know, you beat Southampton, you're on to the semifinal. And honestly, from there, I'm sure Slot's going to change and go back to the starting 11 and kind of go out and try to win it. And what a first trophy for him to win. I mean, that's a good start. United are going to have that new injection of new manager, so they're going to be pushing hard. Newcastle are just Newcastle and Arsenal are just Arsenal. But yeah, I'm happy with it. You know, we're getting a city draw over here. You know, they're always getting like the Southamptons and the smaller teams. We're finally getting a city draw. We're not getting, quarterfinal Arsenal, semifinal Chelsea, final Man City. No, we're getting a city draw. So I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. It kind of like paves the way. And it's weird, like you wait for this. We could have just said this like last round. Say it's very winnable. Did like City getting out of the equation make it even more winnable? That because I feel like I sense everybody is suddenly, and I know we always get to this in the quarterfinal round, and I don't know why. It's like 3 more games. Okay, it was 4 more games. Like this is not like a huge tournament to win a trophy.
Yeah.
Do you think it's like City getting out of the picture and knowing either Tottenham or United is going to get out of the picture by themselves that gets everybody, yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Let's go win it.
Yeah, I think so. It went from, this is City's trophy to win like every year to, holy shit, we're probably going to win this, one more game. And now we're on to the serious stages. So yeah, why not? And it's funny, when City lost, they were all just laughing on the bench and joking. It looked like almost like they wanted to lose. I don't know what the hell was going on, but yeah, I don't know if you saw the highlights at the end of the game. Pep was just sitting down laughing, looking at Haaland. Haaland laughs, and then you look at De Bruyne, he laughs, and they're pointing at each other. It was so weird. It's almost like they wanted to get out of it. I don't know.
That just this plan. Yeah, it did look weird. But I did think Spurs was gonna go all Spursy in the second half over there. But yeah, I mean, it could be their ambition. They could be like, meh. I mean, really, as you win that's how we look at it, right? Because we win bigger things, so this just ends up being like, I guess League Cup kind of a trophy. Whereas if you're Ten Hag, you're like, we won cups, man. What else do you need, kind of a thing. So I get that. I get like why people would look at it that way, but now it almost looks like it's paved the way to bigger, better things. And yeah, when I was looking like towards the end of the game, well, when I thought it was towards the end of the game, it was like 3-1 or 4-1 at the end, or 4-2 or whatever it was. And I was like, we were up by 2. It wasn't like, squeaky bum time yet. And I was like, hey, let's see who else is in there left. And honestly, the first team I mentioned, because we were looking at it with Angel, I was like, Southampton is still there. So if we get them, so I feel like it's like as good of a draw as you can probably get in that sense.
Can't be better.
Okay, so you brought this up like a month or so ago. I don't know. When was the last time you were on a morning show? A month or so ago?
7 years ago. Yeah. When he was still in the academy.
It was probably like a month or so ago that you brought that up, that you were hearing about it on the other side. And I don't know how much we can trust Build, first of all, but
Right.
what do you make of it? I mean, I don't know much about it because I don't watch a lot of Bundesliga and stuff like that, but what do you make of it? Or how likely is this?
I think it's very likely. I think it's very, very likely. One of like the biggest names in Egyptian media talked about it, and he said, as far as I understand, Liverpool are very interested in him. Again, it's a while back. And again, I said this, I wouldn't have not believed it if it wasn't for two things. That's the same guy who said Roma are very interested in Mo Salah. And he said, at the time, he's like, yeah, no, Roma, that's where Totti played. That's where all these guys played. Now they're interested in Salah and they want to sign him and they're very serious. 2 weeks later, Roma register official interest in Salah. And the second thing, and probably the most important thing why I believe this is real, Marmoush walks into Egyptian training camp and they'll start clapping. He's like, oh, the new Egyptian king is here. And they'll look at Mo. And then Mo kind of goes, oh, the new superstar is here. And then Trezeguet looks at him and he goes, see, even he knows, referring to him being a Liverpool player who, see, even he knows. And they all kind of just chuckled, and then Marmoush kind of pushed Salah and they walked in and started training. So it doesn't feel like they're hiding it anymore. It looks like the players know something, and it looks like Mo knows something, because right away Trezeguet acknowledged that, see, even the Liverpool player knows. So I think it's real. I think Liverpool are interested. There was a little bit of talks about it last year, and everybody's like, oh, yeah, that's not happening. But now I think two reasons why it's real. One, the kid is flying. He's the top goal scorer in Bundesliga outside of Harry Kane, obviously. And two, it looks like the Egyptian media has fully acknowledged it, which only tells me Marmoush's camp has said something, because Marmoush's camp and his manager represent about 80% of the Egyptian players.
Oh, not damn. That's a little mini monopoly they got going over there. But let me ask you this then. Okay, two things. One, does this make it more or less likely that Mo will sign a contract, for example?
I think more. I think Marmoush comes in. The way I think this goes is Mo signs a 1-year contract. Marmoush comes in and he's helping him in that transition to stay in the club and get used to everything around the club, but also play with, his Egyptian national team captain and just learn the way from him, I guess. Because I don't think Marmoush is going to be a Mo replacement. I think Marmoush is going to be a player that comes in and transitions with Mo. So by next year, when Mo leaves, Marmoush can become that guy. But for the first, not next year as in this coming up one, the one after. Because I'm talking, we're already next season and Marmoush is here. Yeah. So he stays and he goes
so he says, and this is the second question, I guess. It seems like a little too on the nose for me. I don't know. You're because, obviously.
Because I have a big nose? I've always had issues with this, and now you're making me feel confident.
That's reckless. No, it's... No, I don't know, you're more familiar with the media, obviously, because you speak the language and stuff. I just know out of the Turkish media where they really exaggerate any and every link. So the intern at Echo will need to turn in an article by 2:00. So he'll throw a couple of names out there as Liverpool are monitoring. And then the paper in Turkey, all the media will grab it and run it and say, Liverpool are really looking into so-and-so. So is it one of those deals where it's a chain reaction of, people stealing stupid rumors from each other to generate news and clicks? Or how legit is this compared to...
With how reliable the guy who started this is, I would say it's very legit.
Okay.
He's very, very reliable. He's not a sports media guy. He has nothing to do with sports.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He doesn't do sports. He covers politics and he covers big events in Egypt, God forbid, catastrophes and all these things. He's essentially the Larry King of Egypt, if you really want to look at it. And he's a very big name.
Soccer transfer news.
Yeah, he's a very big name. So the way he brought it in wasn't more oh, I got soccer transfer news. He goes, and we're hearing from the camp of Marmoush that this is going on, and it seems that Liverpool's very interested. And then he goes, and I wouldn't have brought this up if I didn't see this. And then he shows the clip of the guys coming in, and they all kind of start making fun of him, and they're like, oh, there's the new Egyptian king. And then Mo's like, come on, superstar, And they're like, see, he acknowledged it. And honestly, if that didn't happen in training, I would have said this is Egyptian media bullshit. But once
Oh,
that
really?
happened, I was
Well,
like,
I mean,
okay.
it could be something else that's like an inside joke and stuff too, though. If you're really running with the
I don't know if they
practice
would point him
banter.
to Mo. If it was something else, they would point him to Mo. I think the link with Liverpool is why they started pointing him to Mo. But hey, we'll find out soon. Bill isn't very trustworthy, but they get a couple of things right here and there. And they said Liverpool officially registered their interest. And remember, Liverpool were interested last year too. So
Yeah, but if you did interested, you could throw that out for like 80
yeah,
or so
they were
players.
also interested. Yeah, they were interested in Maradona last year. Yeah, no, I know. So who
Okay,
knows?
couple of things. I mean, on Fridays we kind of take a look at slots like press conference and a lot of like tidbits over there. Okay, let's start with this. The Kwanzaa ordeal. First of all, what did you think of that whole thing? And I don't know, I watched the post-match press conference, and unless it was like an edited version that I ended up watching, because it was from the Liverpool channel, I was shocked that nobody even asked about the substitution aspect of it, because I thought, I mean, it was a big talking point in our Discord channel, and I thought it was pretty significant to ask at a press conference, but the media be media. So what did you think of that, first of all?
That he wasn't asked the question?
No, that he was substituted.
I feel like Kwanzaa is just not having it this season. I feel bad for the kid. Let's just put it that way. I feel bad for the kid. And he's going to get his head up and he's going to be just fine. I just don't like that he was especially at the time too. Like, it was really game over. That just adds insult to injury. I don't know. It's sad. That's the best way to put it. Especially this kid thought in the beginning of the season he's going to be the starting center back. Really, if you think about it, season started, it was him and Verge, and things just didn't go his way, and now it's just getting worse and worse. And I think at his age, this could take a toll on him. I hope it doesn't, but at his age, this is something that could take a toll on you.
Yeah, because I'm kind of torn, and I understand that. And I, like I was saying in Discord, I think if Klopp is there, he probably does not make that substitution.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, if something, I mean, like everybody is like, oh, like it's unfair to the kid and, like crushing his confidence and stuff like that, which I do understand. But at the end of the day, he's a professional. He gets it. And would it be better for him to totally, I mean, it was almost like, okay, you know what, why don't you come out so that we'll advance, because you could tell he was shaky, and I really felt more than the second one, which was not a mistake. I mean, it's unlucky, but at the same time, I don't know what you're doing there. So you can see the confidence is a little shaken, right? And then he does that pass, which is like, dude, what are you doing? Like, you're all over the place right now. So I thought in that sense, it's fair to do, because I really think everybody who's saying, oh, like poor Kwanzaa now, if we consider another goal because of Kwanzaa, it would be like, well, why is Slot just like sitting down and watching this? We don't care, we don't care young guys' confidence if you're gonna get eliminated, at this expense and stuff.
Yeah. Well, there's always two ways to look at things. There's that one way, but there's also the way where, you know what? It's the last 2 minutes of the game, last 3 minutes of the game. You've already fucked it. And you take him out now, you're just breaking him. You're literally breaking him. And also, you're putting in another center back with a few minutes to go that isn't even ready to go. Maybe he'll make a mistake, and now you look like a bigger jackass. So
yeah, there was that chance. Yes, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Just let it ride, man. He's already done his deed and got his usual assist that he gets every here and there. So you just let him finish the game. He's done it before. It's not like he hasn't.
Sergi says, like, I think it was the right call. Mentally, it seemed Kwanzaa was gone after the second goal. And that's, I mean, that pass just was like, oh, okay, now, okay, you're done. Like, up there, you kind of
yeah,
like, totally
it was like, what, get that fucker out,
So I kind of like get that in that sense, but I do get the other aspect of it. I think it really depends on like how Slot addresses it afterwards. And I know, like, even though he was not directly asked, he brought out Kwanzaa's name quite a couple of times in that post-match press conference, and then he's talked about Kwanzaa in terms of having a good game overall, except a couple of unlucky moments. And he did flat out say, though, this is the next step in his game, is to eliminate these mistakes from his game. Because correct me if I'm wrong, he is the one you could kind of go back and say started the demise by giving away the goal to Bruno Fernandes. And we
Yes.
know how that thing turned. Like, that's right about the turnaround of like the season and stuff like that. I mean, I don't want to put the season on the poor kid, but I'm just saying, like, these mistakes have been in him. So I don't know, maybe is it just overconfidence that makes him do these things, and he's hoping that like he's got to keep the focus, because obviously he went the whole game. I thought he had a pretty solid game.
He watches a lot of Van Dijk, I'll tell you that. Because
Calm
that's
as
the
you like.
square pass that Van Dijk does at all times. But at least Van Dijk, it reaches. That's one. And two, he does it in the right time. And I think Kwanzaa just wants to be like that swagger defender where I can just take the ball and make the square pass kind of like while I'm chilling. And it sometimes bites you in the ass. But yeah, let's not blame him for everything. But I will say the furniture sales are down, on that fucker Kwanzaa is just ruining everything in the industry. You know,
He's standing too much.
he's just doing everything he shouldn't do. No, yeah, but again, I'm all about, his mental health, and I don't want him to go through a rough time. So it'll get better. This is also Matip's probably watching, doing his dance, because when Matip got injured, he's like, yeah, I'm glad he's injured. I want to prove myself in this team. And that's still the interview that haunts me till today.
He's ready to come back. Mateo says we also forgot how good Konate can be when he wasn't fit in good form. So we looked at Kwanzaa in comparison. That is a good point, but he was playing solid. Like, it wasn't just he's better than Konate. I know what he's saying, though. The bar was low when he walked in and just stepped over the bar and be like, how about this, guys? Because Konate was all over the place at the time. But I mean, Konate came back from that, right? And he's probably, you could argue, like in top form right now for the team. And it's not like Konate is an old dude. He's like a young kid as well. I thought that's what we see in public, right? But not everything is in public. I mean, in this, the substitution, yes. But I felt
unless
what
you're
they
in
do
Egypt.
in the background. What?
I said, unless you're in Egypt. Then it's all public.
Unless what they do in the background is what's gonna make a difference in terms of like keeping his morale and stuff like that. The only issue is like I just don't see, unless it's like a rubber match or something like that coming up, I just don't see where he would get like an opportunity again to kind of, this was the one, right? I mean, unless he's gonna have to wait till December 17th again. Like, when do you see another scenario where we trot him out? Like, I don't see us trotting him out on like a Premier League game or like against Real or something like that.
Only way, well, there's two ways here. If somebody's injured and we desperately need somebody to fill in, or we're cruising through the Champions League and that's it. It doesn't matter what happens next, and you can just put anybody in. You're up 5-0, and you're like, okay, Konate, just go get him, boy. Other than that, it's just, I don't see a way back. I mean, but knowing Arne Slot, he'll come in tomorrow and be like, yeah, I decided that we need to start him because, and then he just starts. And so we'll see.
That was not bad, actually. I'm not going to do that, but he was talking about McAllister, and I've been kind of like preaching this for a little bit now. So I will accept the apologies coming up. But so in terms of him being as a double pivot or the 10, because everybody keeps talking about, Saito is not up this morning apparently, but if he was in the comments, he would be talking about how we need a DM to push McAllister up and stuff. I still feel like he plays better when he's not facing back, and when he's like he can make those passes. I feel like he's better in the double pivot and stuff. What is your ideal position for Mac?
The number 10.
So you do want him pushed up. You do.
I want him pushed up where he plays for Argentina. That's where he's most comfortable.
Puts your boy out of the squad.
My boy can fucking be the striker for all I care. Ain't nobody touching him. No, I want him next to Szoboszlai.
Okay, you can only field 11 people. I mean, this is not...
Well, yeah. So Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, and McAllister.
So you making Szoboszlai the double pivots?
Yes.
No. Okay, now you really blew. Okay, well.
No. Wait. He's not going to be a double pivot. You're going to have one holding midfielder. You're not going to do a double pivot. You're going to have a traditional number 6, and then right in front of him, you're going to have Szoboszlai and McAllister. But the reason why that won't work is because this team is already set up in a way where it only works in a double pivot system. So it's not like we can change McAllister now 10 games in and be like, okay, buddy, we're changing things up. It's not going to happen, but that's what I would like to see.
Funny. I have to say that's
Technically, they
funny.
said 14.
The Egyptian media. I believes everything the Egyptian media says. No, I don't know. I think right now he kind of plays a hybrid, right? I mean, they almost
Yeah.
like take turns, like stepping up. But ultimately, if you did a formation and I said, put it on paper, you would put him as like a double pivot kind of a deal, and then you would put Soboslai in front of him. And I still think that's like the best spot. He did say, so Ryan Gravenberg is almost always the deepest. Dom or Curtis are playing a bit higher, and then he's in between. He being McAllister. It depends on how dominant we are. If he is the second number 10, or if he has to be the second number 6. But
That's
he's
where I'm with it.
comfortable in both phases of the game. He can help us like winning, bringing the ball out from the back, and he's also capable of making a difference in and around the 18-yard box.
Yeah.
So I think it's like kind of like
That's
perfect.
exactly where I'm with it. If he has to be the number 6, he has to be. If he has to be the 10, he has to. But see, you can't say dominance without dominance. So, I mean, again, even Arne Slot knows that you can't dominate without Dom. So, hello, Sir Z, apology now.
Apologies, please. Apologies, please. Send in your apologies. We'll give an address. They can just mail it in. Left back position is another question that was asked. Are you shocked to see Robertson start this one? More importantly, does that mean to you that means Costas on the weekends? Well, tomorrow.
Yeah, I think we're at a stage where Costas has to start. And that's what we were talking about.
Has to because
of the decline in Robo. Nothing bad. I love him. And I think he's
nothing
one of the
bad. He's
best.
just declining.
But I just think Costas has shown that he's earned that position. And Robo has shown that he's given up the position to Costas. So I'd like to see Tsimikas start. This is what we talked about this summer where I was heavily pushing for Tsimikas, and then I was like, oh, what the hell? And then we were like, well, if he doesn't even trust him now, what's the point? But he got a new contract last season, so this club sees something in him. And I wouldn't mind him starting. He's shown improvement. He's shown that he wants to start. Meanwhile, Robo has just had a decline. So maybe he'll start this one, but this could be a make or break game for him, kind of like Kwanzaa a couple of days ago.
I mean, he basically kind of put it all on Robo not having a preseason. And like he's still getting there. This is the first time he's played like almost like back-to-back kind of a deal. And he kind of is making it sound like there's only rotation. I mean, obviously he's going to be politically correct and he's not going to go out like you and be like, because Robo's declining.
Yeah.
Kind of a deal.
He's old.
Nothing bad. He's just declining. But it's like he's talking about he was going to do rotation anyway because you have to. But the reason it came earlier than maybe what we're seeing on the right-hand side is, well, obviously right outside Bradley was hurt too, but the fact that Robo was not told he didn't have the preseason, so he needs more rotation early on than like normal. Are you buying what he's selling?
No. The Egyptian media said he's lying. No, but no, I mean, he's not going to come out and say he's having a bad season or he's having a bad couple of games. So he's going to give you the preseason story. He's going to give you this. He's going to give you that. But at the end of the day, he wants to win games. And the way to win games right now is if you start Tsimikas. It's really that simple.
Really? I mean, I guess he's been. I mean, in what sense though? Like, do you think he's so much better, or
I don't think he's
like,
so much better. I just think he's in form. And this is again the same conversation we had last year with the Curtis Jones thing: in form versus the best.
Yes.
I think Rob was the overall best left back.
I don't remember getting a lot of apologies submitted by you, by the way, for that one. I just don't,
because
getting all the apologies out of the way.
So speaking of which, what's Curtis Jones done? Gotten me Szoboszlai apologies. That's really all he's done. So I feel like I was right a year ago, and now I'm going to reshare the video today. But it's the same thing. It's better versus in form, and right now Tsimikas in form, and Robo isn't. But when Robo's back in form, you want him the first name on that team sheet. But it's just a form thing.
First name on that team sheet, but yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Well, second, dominance first. I mean, Dominic Szoboszlai first. Dominance, Dominic Szoboszlai. Even sounds the same. That's crazy. But yeah, for me, form is everything. And just based on that, you start Tsimikas, you start Jaros. No, I'm just kidding. But you definitely start Tsimikas.
Who had like an excellent game, by the way. That was like quite impressive. And honestly, more than even like Slot brought this up in the post match, like you did not feel like I honestly totally forgot he was playing for a little bit, to the point, you know what I mean? Like in terms of, it didn't feel like
The
we had the
nerve,
third
yeah.
goalkeeper in goal. It just felt, I mean, the way he's comfortable with on the ball. I like, as I was watching the game, you know, it's not like who's the goalie kind of thing, you know, like watching the game flow. And then like I think I was talking to the engine. I said like, oh, I'll just go to penalty kicks if it's a draw kind of a deal. Oh, because we were trying to plan like what we're gonna do right after the game, timing wise, like when the game is gonna end. And I was like, oh shit, that's right. Keller is not in goal because you know I trust him more than like penalty kicks. That's the first time I thought of, hey, we had the third goalie actually in goal. He was so comfortable on the ball. I thought that was quite impressive because you see the other side on Brighton where Steele was just giving it away left and right, and you have your third goalkeeper that calm. I mean, it's almost like he's being wasted as a third.
Yeah. Steele had a cup of whatever Kwanzaa was having yesterday. Well, a couple of days ago, because he was feeling us. He was like, "Here, you guys go, take it." But yeah, so I said this in the Discord. Did we really need Mamardashvili? I mean, honestly, you got Kelleher, you got Jaros, you got two guys that are ready to be a number one for any club in the world except for Liverpool. And here we are. We have another number two. So I don't know. I feel like I like that we made a move for Marmalade, I guess, but did we really need him? It's a question to ask because you've got two amazing backup keepers. Kelleher, I guess it's because he wants out, but you know, Jaros, he's young.
Yeah, but I mean, Kelleher wants out because he wants to
start. Yeah. I think Mamardashvili is eventually going to want out if he doesn't start. He's already
I'm assuming he's basically becoming, when he comes in, he would come in. I still think this is more of an insurance policy than anything else when it comes to what happened like to City this summer, like when they just like Saudi League came in for Ederson and like made an offer. And I can see the same happening for like Alisson soon.
Yeah.
And, you know, Alisson is not there, is he? I mean, it's just like we don't have a reliable Ali. As much as I love him, he's always has these periods where he's missing for a month or two. And you don't say that a lot about goalies. Yeah. You know, usually like goalies would be out. They'd be out, right? They would be out for like, you know, like 3 months, 4 months, out for the season now and stuff like that. Whereas he has like muscle injuries, which is really odd for a goalie. And he'll be out for like, you know, like 4 weeks, 6 weeks and stuff like that. So the only thing I don't get is the Mamardashvili guy not being really good with his like feet and not really fitting the system that way, unless they told him, hey, you got a year, get that feet sorted. So when you come over here, you can pass the ball kind of a thing. I just feel that's odd because you look at yesterday, you look at Kelleher. I mean, that's what we have in goalies. And honestly, I've only watched, I don't, you know, watch like his games in Spain. So I have not watched him in the league, but like, I don't remember like finishing the games thinking, God damn, that guy cannot play with his feet. Because I do watch every game that like for Georgia. But I mean, do you think he basically, if Ali is gone right now, does that guy come in and start? That's the common sense, right? Yeah. I mean, you don't spend that much money. Officially, we don't spend that much money for that. But at the same time, it's an insurance. If somebody comes in for Ali in the summer, now you can have Mamardashvili as your first. If you sell Kelleher as well, Jarosh will be your number two. Are you comfortable going into a season, for example, in that made up scenario?
Yeah, absolutely. You've got one of the best young keepers in the world, the Georgian young man who was lighting up at the Euros, and everybody's like, wow, that's a good goalie. And then you got Kelleher, who's clearly leaving. And then you got Jaros, who's going to be the next big thing in this club. So I'm good with it. I think Ali's got one more season in him after this one, and then I say he's off. And that's where it gets weird next year of you just paid for this guy, and this guy's still here. Are you going to hope he gets injured so this guy plays, or what are you going to do with this information? So we'll see how it goes next season if Ali is still around.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's a good point. I feel like if that happens, we loan him again for another year.
Which, yes, depending on Kelleher and depending on Jaros. But yes, that's all going to make a...
Because I don't think that guy's going to want to come in and sit behind Ali.
Well, he's already said it. He's already said, I'm going to Liverpool to be the number one. I mean, he's already said that when I get there, I'm going to fight for the number one position. He's already given us the Kelleher speech. I'm going to fight for the number one position.
Yeah, but I mean, after week 3, you're like, oh, so I didn't get the number one.
Yeah.
It's not like midfield, you know, like where you can be like, throw me out there, give me 20 minutes. I'll show you what I can do. I mean, if you're number 2, you're literally number 2.
You're there for the season. You're Scott Carson. You're not going to see any minutes. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So let's get to tomorrow real quick. Obviously, it's gonna be. It's odd. I hate it when it's like back to back like this. And honestly, this has the feel of. I mean, I worry as a lifestyle, but when you looked at the schedule, this was not one of the games that you were like, oh, that's another tough one there too in this window. And that's exactly why I worry more about this game, because Brighton can really hurt you. We saw what happened once they started putting their guys in. Mind you, we had our backup, so it's a different story, I guess, when you compare it. But what is your confidence level? Do we just put our back? The Dom will be back, so I guess everything will be fine. Or
We
what?
will be able to dominate. No, I think in the league and with that preset lineup that we have, and with the mentality and attitude, I'm not too worried. Yes, Brighton are not easy. They're not an easy side to play, but again, we're not either, and we're going in with our strong 11. So it should be. I'm not gonna say a walk in the park, but it should be an easy game for us to win confidently.
So you said the ideal lineup plus Costas. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah. So now we know Nunez starts. So yes, it's just the ideal. It's the usual. We're gonna call it the usual plus Costas.
Okay, so you're starting with Diaz. Is that
I'm
correct?
starting with Diaz.
Okay.
And I
What
know
do you make of
Gakpo.
that?
I
Is
know
that a
Gakpo has
dilemma?
been on fire. I totally get it. But Diaz was also on a generational run until he was benched for no particular reason. So Gakpo will get benched for no particular reason.
Yeah, I can kind of see that, I guess. I mean, that's a tough call, and I don't know if that's something that, I mean, do you think that's something he does by opponents? Like, this guy fits this. I mean, with club, we were kind of used to copy paste the starting lineups, right? Like, unless something different happens. Do you think we kind of go the same way, or he says, well, this is their right back, so Gakpo is a better, like, do we play matchups, or do we just play copy and paste the starting 11?
I think we copy and paste the starting 11. So the thing is, this is where it stands. You look at it and you say, okay, Szoboszlai only played 70 minutes. Gakpo only played 70 minutes. So, these guys that played on Wednesday, some of them are going to be ready to go. So maybe Gakpo was taken out because he only played 70 minutes and he's being saved for the game. Same thing can be said about Szoboszlai. So I don't know. We'll see. It does seem like he has a preset 11, and it does seem like his changes during the cup game happened because he wants to save him for this next game. He's like, okay, this game is a wrap. Let me take out my guys that are going to play on Wednesday. So maybe Gakpo is starting after all, because Diaz played the whole game. So when I look at that now, because I'm looking at the team sheet from Wednesday, Diaz played the whole game. I actually don't know if he starts Diaz now.
Who's your preference?
Diaz.
And why? Let me finish this question. And why?
When I used to take tests in high school and college, I pick an answer and then it says and why, so I change my answer to false. Like, okay, no, you're right. And why? Why would they do that? Cancel. I just I'm more confident with Diaz on the ball. I know the trouble he causes for defenders because Gakpo is very good on the ball, but Gakpo is the kind of guy where he has to be facing the goal to do something. Diaz doesn't. Diaz can create that chance, go get it. Versus Gakpo, he's your traditional, that Dutch winger, like the Dirk Kuyt. Give me the ball, I'll work the hardest, and I'll either make a pass or take a shot. Where Diaz has that flair, I'm going to beat everybody, and then go back and beat him again. And then you know what, just fucking do it for the third time for the hell of it. Then lose the ball, and then yell, and then go get it again. It's just, Diaz is going to be the better option to go direct at their defenders.
Let's try not butchering this. Mihaly? Gulyash? That's what I'm going with. Let me
I
know.
wonder if he's Georgian.
He's what?
I wonder if he's Georgian.
Well, tell us, Mihaly. I'm going to go with Mihaly. Hopefully I don't butcher it. Let me know if I am butchering
Mihaly.
it.
Mihaly Gulyash.
He says things Slot just want more game time to Jones.
Let's hope not.
I still like Jones better. I thought he played better when he's Hungarian. So don't be totally dark over there. Like, I think he's Georgian.
No, it's just because we
making up shit.
We would get new Georgian fellows because of Mamardashvili.
No, but actually, if anything, I would have guessed Hungarian just because of the things on the names. That's what. So
Mihaly, I'm sure you agree with me that Dominik Szoboszlai is the GOAT. And he needs to be starting.
You guys can have like a Dominic love fest for like 5 minutes.
Needs to
Just
start every
drool
game.
over each other.
And not because he looks like me. Has nothing to do with anything. No.
Angel still insists he does not understand the fascination with Soboslai and people saying he's good looking, by the way. The chin. I told you this when we first signed him back like years ago. It's the chin. But let's go back to we just totally got sidetracked with the Hungarian Dominic Soboslai connection here. But let's go back to what he was saying. I just feel like Jones did better when he's in that double pivot role where he's just winning the ball and like moving forward with it. He can turn with it or whatever. But I think because we're gonna start with the ideal 11, I just don't see a spot for Jones. Mm-hmm. Because Szoboszlai only played 70, so you would expect him to be back there. Yeah. If anything, though, Mihaly might be right where he does come in maybe like in the second half. It just seems like until Elliott gets back, I don't know if we have an alternative to what Szoboszlai does.
We don't, and this isn't biased. This isn't like, biased at all, but we don't, because even Elliott, the work rate that he does is only when we have the ball. Not when we don't have the ball.
No, I just don't feel like Dominic, he doesn't he's a big dude. He's a big dude and he's fast. I feel like he brings that physicality to that midfield. Whereas if we have Elliott, it's going to be similar to what we had in the last game where you have a lot of McAllister and Elliott's over there. You're giving up a lot of size, especially when you go against the midfield that has bigger midfielders, taller midfielders and stuff like that. I think that's the biggest difference. I don't have I have confidence in Elliott doing the hard work off the ball and his pressing and stuff. I just don't know if he physically anybody can bring what he's bringing in terms of speed and size.
Speed, size, and continuous running. He doesn't stop. That's a sight I like to see. He doesn't stop. A very hardworking guy. Again, I'm going to refer again to Derek Cow. Doesn't stop. He just keeps running. He's like the Energizer Bunny, and people like Serzi don't see that. Oh, we played a game that we won 4-0, but he didn't score 7? What is going on here with this Hungarian guy? We need to get rid of him. It's like, sir, there's a reason why we kept the clean sheet. There's a reason why the build-up play was good.
Yeah.
So you don't see what he does, but he does it. What do you mean? Just because he has nice hair doesn't mean...
I mean, I've been sticking up for him because I feel like, yes, he does a lot off the ball that does not get noticed. But even... Hungarians can be objective. You can't, apparently. But even Mihaly says he needs to do better. Yes, I feel like, I keep defending him. And then he gives up a ball. I was like, bro,
we all agree.
Right next to you.
Yeah.
You passed it to the wrong team.
We all agree that he needs to do better in the final third. We do. I don't think anybody is like, that's okay. Go all season without scoring a goal. No, we agree. We want to see some more, assists, more goals. Kind of like when he was down in Red Bull. Yeah, he did that. But... or what he does for Hungary, that same free kick he scores every single international break that's been getting scored for the last 2 years now. But
look what he did.
Yeah, it was so funny the other day. It's like, look what he did. I'm like, they lost 4-0 to Germany. What are you talking about? But everything else he does makes up for it. I'm not saying, oh, you don't need to do it. Derek Cow didn't score that many goals in a season when he went strictly on that right wing. But everything he did, he got credited for. This is where I'm going with this. I want him to score more. I want him to assist more. But what he's doing now is more important because it's helping us score more. So we're keeping clean sheets. We're winning the ball back. And he looks good doing it. So, come on.
Not according to AP. He is also the reason we don't kill games off. And I do agree to that. Mihaly says he's got a lot of hate now in the social media. And I almost feel like because he came on the scene, this guy is making the moves, getting past people. Look, he can shoot, he scores, and all that kind of stuff. So he set this bar of a totally different player, and now he's playing as a different role, as a different player. And people, obviously, the first one was a lot more attractive to watch, especially for all those in the social media, because those guys just, most of them just watch highlights, and that's the problem. I think a lot of people in social media are commenting off of highlights and not really having watched the game to see. And now you got to watch the game to know what he's doing off the ball.
And let's be he just turned 24 years old 5 days ago. He's still young.
Were you at the birthday party? Is that why you brought this up?
I was. I was. We had a Szoboszlai look-alike party, and I was there. But he's still young. 24 years old. People make it.
Okay. You got to kind of 24. at this day and age. We talked about this before. I don't know if people are like it was on a Friday morning or whatever. This 24 is really young thing was like 10 years ago. 24 is not that young anymore.
He's not young.
17, 18.
Okay, he's not young, but he's not in his prime yet. He's only getting better. He's still not in his prime.
Prime has changed as well. You know, prime used to be late 20s, right? 27,
late 20s.
28.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think that prime has changed now? Because you didn't have a lot of 17, 18-year-olds running around.
Yeah, I say now
experience they were 27, 28.
Well, now because they're playing more games, more competitions, more minutes, I'd say their prime is a little, sooner. So I'd say 26, 27.
In 2 years, we're gonna see like a really good
Dominic Szoboszlai. So in 2 years, when he gets a new contract extension for another 5 years for $7 billion a week, then we'll see that Szoboszlai that we're looking for. But he's only getting better. He's getting used to his new position. He's getting used to this new system. He's doing all the dirty work, guys. He's doing the dirty work. Club, but why winger to translate a midfielder?
Midfielder. Because honestly, I don't know. Can he I don't see him.
So that's
when I saw the lineup, I was like, oh, maybe he's playing on a. I was expecting to maybe because we had injuries on the front line. I was like, oh, maybe we'll have him more play wing.
It's because he doesn't trust Curtis Jones to do the dirty work, so he stuck Szoboszlai and said, "Okay, listen to me. You're on the wing, but here's the real deal. Just do everything."
I don't know what the non-stop shush sound in the background is, but
that's how he talks. He's always shushing. He's like, guys, listen to me. Listen to me. I'm telling you, just listen. I'm like, why are you saying listen? Then I started saying listen. So yeah, he started him in the wing to still do the dirty work, even though he's not in that position. He still wants his engine. I want him to bin Ballon d'Or. I showed how good he can be.
That's what's sorry, I got the remote. Your reading got cut off. But no, I feel like one thing. This is my ongoing theory. Out of my many theories, this is my ongoing theory with Dominic Szoboszlai. Is I really feel like he's not used to going back to what Mihaly was saying earlier. He's not used to doing this much off the ball nonstop, and I really think it kind of affects what he does afterwards when we do get the ball, because he's not as, I don't know, fresh or whatever. I always go back to my basketball analogy when if the other team has a high score, you kind of keep going at him. We'll make him work on defense so his offense can suffer because of that, because you got heavier legs and stuff like that. I almost feel like that's why we're doing that's some of his growing pains, I think, is that when he gets the ball, he's worked so hard to get to that situation. Sometimes his passes are his thinking is slower. The passes are slower. Sometimes they go to the wrong place. Are you buying what I'm selling there? And by that, Sergi says, why does Anand's slot sounds like Sean Connery? It's Anand. Anand's specialty is Arab.
Listen. my slot sounds like slot when he says S, and it sounds like sh. But other than that, it has nothing to do with slot. it's absolutely nothing. More like Elvis Presley, But
yeah, if you just press essence,
yeah,
that's his impression of slot, right?
Yeah,
now.
I actually think that could make sense. He's not used to doing so much off the ball this way. When we have the ball, he's more like, oh, I'm exhausted. That's very possible. He's not the kind of player that was doing all this work rate. And even when he plays for Hungary, correct me if I'm wrong, Mihaly, that's not the role he has. So yeah, I can fully see why when we have the ball, he's making those mistakes. But also I feel like he still wants to have that flair. And this is why he's making mistakes. He doesn't want to give you the simple pass. He wants to give you the fancy pass. He doesn't want to give the pass right away. He wants to take 2-3 touches and then give the ball,
I don't know if Mateusz is still watching, but it's like Mateusz playing FIFA. He can't just give it to you he can't just press X. He just has to press
R2X,
or one and
yeah. So that could have something to do with it. I actually like that. I never used that, but I will start using that because that's an advantage. Oh, you're complaining? He's doing all this work and he's tired. You want him to shoot too? What is he, a machine? Good, I like it.
That's the thing. I don't know. That's a theory I have in terms of that's gonna get better, I think. But this is a good question as well. About his shots, because I feel like that is instruction, and I am kind of okay with that instruction because we saw a lot last year, right? Where when we have possession, I mean, this game now especially, we're a lot more possession based. So when you're kind of dominating, you have another team under pressure, even if the ball is going sideways in front of the box and we're trying to penetrate and stuff like that. if you're a defender, that's a lot of work, and that's a lot of hard work because it's very intense. They're right in front. So you cannot, it's not midfield, it's right in front of the box. So it's a lot of work to do that. When you take a shot and sky it, as a defender, you're like, whew, okay, so we just bought 30 seconds. Everybody goes back to their default settings.
Yeah.
I felt like he was doing that a lot last year because he scored a couple early on in the season. And to me, that's bigger frustration. You're like, dude, what are you doing? Like, why are you like just shooting and letting them off the hook? Like, but at the same time, the flip side of that is there are a lot of times I was like, just shoot. Like, you don't have to do that extra pep. You don't have to dribble into goal. It's just like finding that balance, and that probably takes time.
Yeah, I just got flashbacks of Naby Keita's shot against Real Madrid in the final. Holy shit! When you said that, I'm like, really, Naby? But yeah, when you play the way we play, you don't want to give up the ball that easily. Notice a lot of our goals are pass, 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 put it in the box, tap, pass, 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 put it in the box, tap, or just cross header. There isn't much shooting from outside, and it does feel like it's an instruction. It does. But sometimes as a footballer, you got to have that confidence that even if the instruction was don't shoot, you take that shot.
Okay,
and,
Trent. Thanks.
Yeah, okay, exactly. You know, Trent's like, the coach is like, don't shoot. He's like, all right, mate. And he just hits it, and it just like goes all the way to Goodison Park. And he's like, it's okay, I'll do it again later. So, you know, you still got to have that confidence.
It's instincts.
You got to have that confidence, man. Look at Kwanzaa. He's got so much confidence. He's assisted 2 goals to opponent teams. You just got to have the confidence, you know?
Wait, in Hungary, he sometimes plays in the... Really?
Because
see, yeah, they really like, I don't know, like that Hungary team was kind of like up and coming, and then they kind of like went backwards really fast. Then again, I'm saying this as like somebody but hey, by the way, speaking of, hate to brag, but like Turkey had like, you know, 2 guys in like the youngest player, whatever award they have, like the top 10 of last year or something like that. We have 2 guys in there. So the future is here. Well, not here, but the future is coming. And then the good thing is we're not going to see Ferdi, I don't think, this weekend as well for Brighton.
Yeah, he's out.
Yeah, because he came off like hurting on that one. So
you know, Mihaly would probably agree with me if that Hungary team had Nemanja Nikolic back, Nico, they would be scoring more goals. Can you imagine that connection between Nico and Szoboszlai? Oh my god, that would be nice. But too bad Nikolic retired and he's not there anymore. But I love Nikolic. Sorry, I'm just flexing.
How old is Nikolic?
Oh man, he's in his 39 now, maybe 40.
Somewhere on there, right? Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was tearing it up for the
like a
fire,
possible comeback or something.
Yeah, I'm just flexing my Hungarian ball knowledge, you know, no big deal.
Huge fan of Szoboszlai. So
Huge fan
of watching Hungary since Szoboszlai was like 5.
Well, every international break when he scores that free kick, I celebrate like a crazy person, and then I look at the score and they lost 3-0. I'm like, it's okay. It was ruled offside because of VAR. You know,
he says we're not that bad. So Hungarian ball now, they just got shamed, by the way. Okay,
absolutely.
Let's go back to
I'm
Liverpool
done. Kick him out. No.
Yeah. No, put me Hadi, man. I'm assuming he never corrected me, so I'm assuming I got the name right, and that's a skill that I possess. Okay. Predictions for the weekends.
I'd like us to keep a clean sheet. That's really where I'm at. So I'm gonna go with 2-0.
2-0 sounds good to me. The slot special, right? It doesn't sound very comfortable, though, does it? 2-0.
No, it's stressful, especially. Yeah, it's very stressful. But by the way, but before we get to that, Endo. What do we think of Endo? I think Endo's making a case for himself. I really think, again, another game he comes on, he gives you exactly what you're looking for. Yep. He's that utility player that's going to clean up, that's going to keep everything nice and clean, and he's good on the ball. I really like Endo on the ball. There's that one ball that if he gave to Nunez, we would have scored. But other than that, I like Endo, and I think he's making a case for himself. I'm not saying he should start. I'm just saying he's not going to go away easily. That's really where I am with it. I like Endo.
I don't want him to go away, but that's his role. This is his role.
Yeah.
Like 70, 80, come in, win a couple of balls. He's the Japanese Milner, if you will. Get a yellow card if need be, make a tackle and stuff like that. Sergi says Endo was poor. I don't think he was poor. I mean,
Cersei thinks Szoboszlai is poor every week. Just ignore him.
He'll come back next Friday with an apology for Ando, I bet. No,
there we go.
I don't think we'll see Ando by then. But yeah, I think that's the thing. That's probably his role in terms of, like coming in to finish off games, give some physicality, get somebody rest, another like 15, 20 minutes so they only play 70 and stuff like that. I just don't see him starting because he's like him turn. I mean, you look at Gravenberg, you look at Curtis, you look at Mac, you look at Dominic Szoboszlai, your regular midfielders turn with the ball, and then you look at Endo turning with the ball, and you tell me which one doesn't fit.
Not Jones.
No, it's Endo. Yeah, you are incorrect. Mihani says he thinks another Hungarian. So we started with the Egyptian media. Let's see what the Hungarian media is cooking. So who is coming to stand us the Hungarian rumors? I don't know who's coming. Like I say, if you read the Turkish papers, man, everybody's everywhere. Everybody's interested in Turkish players. To be fair, it's gotten worse because there have been some players like Arda going to Real Madrid and stuff like that, and Ferdi coming here. And so as we sell players, the rumors, is that the left back, right? What does he play? Is that Wolves? I'm making stuff up now.
He plays in Bournemouth.
Oh, Bournemouth. That's where
he's a younger kid. I hold on. Let's look
left back though, right? Yes.
I don't know that part.
Really?
Plays as left back or left wing back. I've heard
it before. Mind you, when you Google it, it says there's a video from like June 5th where he is going to United, but that's yet another like welcome to United.
Liverpool Bournemouth's Milos Kerkez as Andy Robertson's successor 1 day ago, 12 hours ago.
Not Milos, but that's a different story.
Look at that. All the links are actually Liverpool.
Okay, now here we go. We're going by links. Yeah, let's not do this.
Welcome to Liverpool.
Bad enough with the Egyptian media. I don't want to do the Hungarian media as well.
Welcome to Liverpool, Milos Kerkez. Let's go. Szoboszlai is slowly building a dynasty in Liverpool. Slowly, left back Hungarian, then right back.
Yeah, so we're gonna be shit. Like yeah, we don't want to be shit. Yeah, let's not.
We'll share the video of him scoring that goal from outside the box every week. Another goal by Szoboszlai.
Kerkez has a goal that we can start like share. Yeah, let's do that. We'll put it on our Twitter. We'll find a Kerkez goal. And then we'll put on.
We'll find it. He does have a goal in his career, so we will find it. Watch it be like some random ass deflection.
He only have one goal. He's only 20, huh?
He's 20, yeah. He's young. He's only 4 years younger than Szoboszlai.
Dude, he scored 3 goals, but he has not scored once for Bournemouth. I mean, it is Bournemouth, but 37 games played for Bournemouth so far. And he's in the starting looks like for the Hungarian national team. 2 years.
Well, if I was Hungarian, I would start.
Yeah, he's like, trust me, the Egyptian media is too, but we have to listen to it because that's what's.
Wait till you get to the Saudi media, brother.
Or the Turkish media. It only goes downhill from there. Okay, you're going with 2-0. I hate to agree with it because it does make it a more stressful watch, but I'm going with that one as well. We'll be here, obviously. Oh, football flashback is here. What money are you putting on the game before we go at these?
Kerkez going to Liverpool football flashback. How much money are you putting?
Kerkez to Liverpool. What are the odds? He probably knows what the odds are right now, but we'll hopefully go with put a bet on Gakpo to score a hat trick tomorrow. Yeah, but we already closed the game at 2-0, so that ain't happening.
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean that's gonna be interesting to see. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm going with the 2-0 as well. It'll make for a more stressful watch, but let's get the 3 points. That's really all that matters.
And the clean sheet.
I have to. Clean sheet would be nice, yes. And I do have confidence in terms of what we have. And I do hope, this could turn out to be, this is, I guess, my hope and wishful thinking, but they are reckless, if you will, when they build from the back. And if we were a bit more on the ball and if we could kind of press a little better on Wednesday, we could have gotten the couple of early goals thanks to their goalie. I do feel like we can capitalize. If we capitalize on something like that early tomorrow, the game can end up being a lot easier than what it looks on paper. I guess that's my wishful thinking right there. But then again, if they get out of that press, they can be really dangerous. So there is that as well. Man, everybody coming in literally as I'm about to sign off over here. So
Can I ask you guys one question? I don't like where this is going.
yeah, I don't like where this is going either. No private questions. We're not
Let's
taking any
see.
questions. We're just gonna make a brief statements and
Let's see. I'm very intrigued.
Can we find a way to no? No, because I don't think. Yes, I mean that will be the only way. But Gakpo is not the Gakpo that we like when he is in the middle. Gakpo is the Gakpo we like when he is on the left wing.
And you want to go back to preseason where he made a whole interview and kept saying, "I'm not a striker, I'm a winger."
Yeah.
And he said it multiple times in the same interview. Well, yeah, because I'm not a striker, I'm a winger. My favorite position is to play on the wing. So he kept on like saying it, you know, wing, 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 which is why he is now Lucho's main competition. Now, the other option is, oh, well, eventually you can move Lucho to the right. Well, one, what are you going to do with Salah? And two, we don't want Lucho on the right. We want him on the left. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe Lucho as the striker, as the false nine. We saw that last year. He played okay. Couple of games, got a couple of goals. So I don't know.
Would you take him over your boy Nunez in the middle?
What kind of question is that? I wouldn't take my kid over Nunez, man.
Ooh, I got something. Ben Szoboszlai puts Gakpo there.
Now Mihali's gonna be angry, not just me. I got my Hungarian boy over my
I don't see Gakpo working as hard off the ball, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, nobody's gonna work as hard as off the ball. Sir Z. So yeah, no, I'd love to see it. I heard someone say Gakpo falls. It's like a bat sign. The bat signal, false nine. Gakpo false nine.
He says he killed it as a United as a false nine, and that's when he created the username. I do remember that's like Chip. That's the one that Mo puts Martinez on his ass, literally, and then like passes it on for like a really nice chip. I remember that goal. It is an insane angle as well. But no, I just feel like the Gakpo that we keep harping on and we want to see more of is the Gakpo that plays on the left wing, who can cut it. I mean, dude, he has like a vicious. If I'm on the right side, I'm playing those rebounds off of the shots because they always go. He can crank up a shot and they're usually on target. Hopefully, I'm not jinxing him, but they're usually on target and it forces a save, and that's what I kind of like about it. He does crank those shots, but he does not sky them, so it does usually force a save and a rebound and stuff like that. So, but I don't think you're getting rid of Darwin right now and putting him there in a position like you're saying that he doesn't want to even be in. But I'm assuming if he wants the minutes, he's gonna want it anyway. What was the hard for? Was the hard for me? Should I be like?
No, that's the Nunez celebration. Speaking of lineups, I got this not breaking news, but a news article from ESPN from today.
ESPN.egypt.com.
Hello, how are you? This is ESPN Egypt, right? Pep Guardiola say he is willing to lean on the talent emerging from the academy because of the injuries. You know he's going to sign 4 guys for $1 billion now. Yeah, he is not going to lean on young talent. That's just not going to happen.
Who are they playing this weekend? Actually, let's take a look at the weekend games over here real quick. Yeah, we're running long. Might as well go for like 3 hours. Bournemouth away. Actually, this was one of my upset picks.
Ooh.
I can see Bournemouth. Kerkez
is going to get him.
Mihali, make it happen. We want a Kerkez goal incoming.
Well, Savinho's out injured.
Oh, is he again?
Savinho's out. Well, he got injured against Tottenham, and he had to leave limpy, and then they said he left the field in a boot. So I think he's hurt. So Savinho's out. He's injured. So Kerkez is not going to have to work as hard. You know, he can just relax and be ready for us next season when he signs. So we're okay.
Arsenal is going to Newcastle.
Newcastle have been shady and dodgy all season.
I don't know. Newcastle is like away Crystal Palace. Doesn't matter how bad the team is. It's like
something's gonna happen. Yeah.
It's a tough
and maybe Arsenal. Ooh, you know, if our boy Kirkus scores a hat trick and they beat City, and then Arsenal lose because our boy Gordon scored a hat trick. I mean, our boys are doing the job for us without us playing a minute.
Yeah, our boy Gordon signed an extension, so it's not our boy anymore. But that's a different story.
Egyptian media says. And the Hungarian media confirmed.
It's Sobo's fault that you guys didn't cover the important stuff. What is
because Sobo covered it all.
More importance
because Sobo covered it all. Because he covers so much ground, but you don't see it because you only watch goals.
This is getting so nauseating. Oh, baby. I'll leave. We'll leave Liverpool video, and Sir Z can fight it out in the comments.
What signal is that? Is that greater than or lesser than?
That's true. What, they don't have math in Egypt? Yes, it's greater than.
Yes, I agree with you, Liverpool videos. Sobo v sideways Curtis. I agree.
Oh, that's freaking bad. That's freaking
it's
bad.
pretty reckless today.
Yeah, it's getting beyond reckless. But hey, thanks to all those joining. Give us a like, follow, and all that kind of stuff. Share the word. What are we up to? We were 950. Let's refresh. We're 954. So spread the word. Grab a fellow Hungarian and say on Fridays there's a dumb love fest going on. Have them come on over, give us a follow, and then do tune in tomorrow. We'll be here right here for the pre-match show. Usually about like half an hour to 45 minutes before once the lineup comes out. So we'll see you guys then. Have a great Friday, everybody. Take care.